Right guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So this is the round footage from the Silvermere Enable Pro-Am I went up and played just over a week ago. What I want to do with this video is it's going to be pretty raw. There's no special effects, no B-roll, but I just want to commentate over the round because I actually had a guy caddy for me on the day, Luca, who did a really good job, so cheers for that, Luca, if you're watching this. And he brought his friend up, Ben, to do some filming. So Ben's sent me across the files. We've got most of the shots from the round on this video, so I'm going to talk through, give you my thoughts about the game, where it is, and how it's progressing basically in tournament play. Now, as we speak, it is now Sunday. I've got a Jamega Tour event this week, so I'm heading up there today. So you can expect footage of that and footage around that coming over the next few days, and heading up with Leon, staying with Leon, so he's going to be back on the channel and we're going to be talking about the Jamega Tour event that we're playing up at Oxford Golf Club. So yeah, let's talk through this round. So this is the first hole at Silvermere. It's like a 480 yard par 5 with out of bounds up the left, out of bounds up the right. There's really no way, no space to miss, so I literally just played that as a free shotter. Hit like 7-iron, then another 7-iron I think, and I left myself, I think it was just about 120 yards. I had a conversation with Konig the other day and he was going on about how good rounds are sort of like built. They're not, you know, you don't go out and make a good round over the first few holes by forcing birdies. So I kind of took that into consideration and just decided to plot my way around the first 6 holes here, which are slightly different from the rest of them. So the first 6 holes at Silvermere are very tight with basically you just can't miss each side because yeah, it's trees, but it's quite dense and you're going to lose the ball if you do hit it in those areas. So I just decided to basically hit iron off most tees. This is the second hole. This is 190 yards uphill. Pin was back right and ended up just pulling this a tiny bit. I mean, the miss is left. You could not miss this flag right. So I ended up missing it in this little runaway area. This is Cam, who I took up. Now Cam was on the channel, a guy I gave a lesson to a few weeks ago. Good lad, young lad from my area, so I thought I'd take him up, and he's only played like a couple courses, so it was good for him to see some other venues. Right, so this is I was about 10 foot off the green. Now this is one of these typical putt moments, but the fringe was really short. And it was just rolling it over about 10 foot of fringe and then releasing down the green. There was this hill just about here and it gets very fast from there. Ended up leaving it just a bit short, but hold the putt down the hill for par. So 2 pars to start with. Now we've got a relatively, how long is this hole? It's about 400 yards, par 4. Again, trouble both sides. Actually hit a really good shot in here. Unfortunately, this one wasn't on camera. My ball is the ball on the right, but I had 170 yards hitting 9-iron in there. It's actually pitched up on the fringe pin high and ripped back. But left myself, yeah, about 12 foot up the hill. And yeah, skirted the edge. So what you see over the first 6 holes is a lot of good birdie opportunities and none actually hold, which is really annoying. So moving on to the 4th hole. So this is a dog leg left. It's only a short hole, about 360 yards, but all I was trying to do is just get it down, just get it in play with, I think I hit 6-iron off this tee, so I am laying back quite a long way, but it's just the nature of these first 6 holes. It doesn't really allow you to attack it. I could probably get a driver on this green, but you can see what is either side of the fairway. So I left myself 120 here, which is a perfect yardage for sort of like a comfortable 52. And yeah, hit a pretty good shot in here. Left myself the wrong side of this flag. So this green, you can't really see it and you can never see it on camera. This slopes really hard from back to front. So I left myself a putt that was breaking about a foot, and it's very fast and it can get away from you pretty quick, so ended up just fanning it and leaving it short. Moving on to hole 5, again shortish par 4, just hit 4-iron off the tee, again can't miss it both sides, but hit a good 4-iron here, left myself 160 yards, hit a great wedge, actually it was 160 yards in a divot, hit a great wedge that pitched right by the hole and released back to here, because I've got a bit of like one of those like divot flyers where it just comes out like really low. This was a really fast putt. Again, hit a pretty good putt. Wasn't too bad. I mean, that looks like quite a simple putt from on camera, but that green slopes a lot from back to front. Now hole 6, I've left myself way too long in here. We sort of like misjudged the wind. The wind was blowing up through this chute that we're playing down, and we didn't think it was. I hit 6-iron off the tee and it's just ballooned up in the air, left myself too far. That flag is tucked well towards the back of the green, an area where you can't miss either side, so I just actually purposefully laid myself back here, and just relied on a 2-putt. Left myself this putt for par, which was crucial. So this was just to keep the par run going basically, which was the plan through the first 6 holes, is just try and keep the ball in play, try and make 6 pars. And yeah, started almost doing like the aim point reading of greens, where you stand halfway between the hole and you try and feel the contours of the land in your feet, and it actually definitely helped on a few of these putts through the first 6 holes. Definitely a different sensation, and something that I'm trying to implement into tournament play at the moment. So 7th hole, this hole I would have gone with a slightly different strategy if I had played this hole. So we played the practice round, we played 6 holes in the practice round, and now we're coming out to a hole that I haven't played before. So if you actually take this on a direct line, it's only about 240 to the green, so I probably could have just hit a 4-iron directly at the green. There's actually quite a bit of room around it, but I hit 7-iron, left myself 70 yards, hit a wedge to here, and then just completely didn't trust the read, which is always really annoying. So yeah, level par through 7 holes, and probably, I mean, if you have one of those days where the putter's working, or a few putts go in, could have easily, been a few under here, to be honest. Anyway, it's one of the worst swings of the day. A nice big slappy toey 2-iron up 8, which actually worked really well, and took a bit of heat off it. If I'd have caught this well, it would have probably got into the bunker. Anyway, left myself 8-iron, which I flared out to here. Somehow I've found this lie. This is absolutely disgusting. It's around the sprinkler, and it's the only dense bit of grass. Honestly, that grass was really thick, and it was sat all the way down at the bottom of it. So ended up getting down in 2 from there. So dropped the shot, and then par 3 next is 190 yards. Hit a good shot in here. It's landed on the green, jumped over the back, and this is just really frustrating. So this is just my short game. It's not where it needs to be. My long game, I feel like, is definitely getting to where it needs to be. But if you can't save par from literally an easy spot by the green, then you're going to be putting a lot of stress on your game, and you're not going to be able to shoot good scores if you can't do the work of saving par. So I ended up having this to stay at 2 over through 9 holes after getting off to and that's just so deflating. But looking back on this, I can see myself getting deflated, which is something that I'm going to keep in check. The winning score was only like 3 over on this pro-am, and unfortunately didn't get that. There is the condition of the course to contend with. What you probably can't see from this is that Silvermere has been played obviously a lot over the last few weeks since lockdown. They're literally been full all day, and they've had so much traffic on the golf course, and all of the fairways were sort of just a bit of a mess. Lots of divots. I found divots in half of the fairways that I hit, and this was one of them as well. So I'm sat down in the bottom of a divot. I know you can't really see it here, but again, terrible short game. And this is to get to 3 over. Well, it's not actually. This is to stay at 2. putt ended up staying at 3. So yeah, frustrating that, you know, the competition wasn't played on preferred lies, but it just wasn't on the day. I think most other tournaments in the area, most professional tournaments, have been played preferred lies just because of the nature of the hot weather and what it's done to the fairways, etc. Anyway, so this is the par 5 next, and ended up taking a big number on this one. So this was a hook drive which has caught the tree that you can see, and we literally just cannot find it down there. This is a provisional ball which I flared out to the right. If I had have played this hole before, this would never have been driver. It is into wind. I couldn't have reached into anyway, so this would have been probably just a 2-iron, and then a 4-iron, then a wedge, and nothing bad would have happened. Either way, lost the ball up the left somehow. Don't know how I've lost it there. Flicked it down, and this was 230 yards of 4-iron into winds, and really, yeah, probably the best strike of the day. Ended up leaving it just short. Can't remember what I made on this hole. It was a blob as far as the app said. We were putting our scores on an app, which was like a 7 or something. So yeah, really frustrating. I walked off that green and I was like, you know, I've hit it really well the first 6 holes, not made anything, missed the green a couple of times, not made up and down, and now I'm in this position here. This was another one to add to the list. Actually hit a nice bunker shot out of here, but shouldn't have left yourself in that bunker off the tee. And yeah, had a little look for this one. No. So the next set of holes coming in were actually a lot better. So got back to giving myself lots of birdie chances again. Shot caller only made one of them, and you're going to see here, but again, could have made quite a few birdies coming in, so that is positive. Long game is definitely moving in the right direction. So ended up hitting it left off the tee, where there was loads of room. The miss was left. Gave myself about 150 yards in with a wedge, greenside bunker, knocked it out to about 5 foot, and then you don't really see this putt, I don't think. You see it just roll in the hole. So yeah, got one back. That's one birdie back. Then we've got another par 5. This one actually into wind. This was playing over 500 yards. Hit a drive up the left. You couldn't miss it right here. To be fair, you couldn't really miss it either side, but I missed it slightly up the left. Gave myself 190 yards or 200 yards out of a fly lie. Actually caught this really well, but it smashed a big branch, and it's knocked it down just short of the green. But anyway, chipped it up, gave myself a putt birdie, and this is literally the situation over the next 5 holes. Lip. You're going to see a lot of that. So yeah, really frustrating down the greens, but it's one of those ones where if you're hitting lips, you can't really, if you're hitting lips from 15 foot, you've hit good putts. Whether they drop or not is not really in your hands, is it? So par 3 now, 170 yards. Just chipped a little 8-iron, really good shot. As you can see, the greens are pretty bouncy if they're flying in from quite high, but soft around the greens, if that makes sense. Give myself a good putt birdie here. Hit good read. Felt like it was a good putt, maybe just a tiny bit too hard for the break. So this is a par 4 up round the corner. Unfortunately, didn't catch the driver, but hit a nice drawn driver around the shape of the hole. Left myself about 110, so chipped a little 52 in here. Gave myself another look at birdie, and this is really frustrating. So I really wanted this to go in for Cam's sake, because we were a couple shots behind at this point. We could see like the live scores, and I gave this one a really good read. I spent a lot of time over this putt. Felt like I hit a really good putt, and yeah, it's just caught another lip. Really frustrating. So this hole is 17, like signature hole. It spun back down to this spot. I didn't have a backswing. Ended up only could putt it. Knocked it up, hold it for par, and then finish off with, again, sort of like another signature hole for Silvermere. So this is just hit a 220 shot down the fairway, and then you've got a shot to a somewhat like island green. So I think I had around 120 from here, so it's just a comfortable little 52. Ended up hitting quite a nice shot, left myself another putt for birdie, and you've probably already guessed what it does. It hits the lip. So all in all, yeah, game's moving in the right direction, long game's moving in the right direction. Hope you've enjoyed this round recap. I hope to do a lot more of these as we go. Obviously the score isn't where I want it to be, but at this point in my sort of like progress as a pro, it's just about continuing to progress, and I'm really looking forward to the Jamega this week. So lots of content coming over the next few days. Make sure you watch out for it, and I will speak to you soon.